The United States of America is the most successful nation the world has ever known. I think that's largely because we're the freest nation. Humans cannot reach their potential, cannot realize their dreams unless they're free.
If prosperity were easy, everybody around the world would be prosperous. If freedom were easy, everybody around the world would be free. If security were easy, everybody around the world would be secure. They are not. None of this is going to be easy. But this is the United States of America. It takes an extraordinary effort. It takes extraordinary commitment. It takes extraordinary strength. The Valley Forge wasn't easy. Going to the moon wasn't easy. Settling the West wasn't easy. We are the American people. We have seen difficulties before, and we always overcome them. This is about rolling up our sleeves. We might have some differences, but at Americans putting our head down and getting it done.
Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. I took myself off. I was hooking myself up to Instagram. I think we can go live.
Streaming on Instagram. How exciting.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're streaming live on Instagram. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are live. Instagram. Yeah, welcome, beautiful Instagram people. Finally live on. I seriously, I can't believe that we're finally doing it. But guess what? This is our Thanksgiving. My name is Wayne Dupree. I'm the host of the Wayne Dupree Show. We've been doing this for about 12 years. It's the first time that I think I've gone live on Instagram. But let me introduce you to my co-host. Hey, Christy Girl. Hey, Jody. Hey, Diane on Instagram. Let me introduce you to my co-host, Mr. The Godfather of Conservative Radio, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr. What's up, Hutch?
He said, let me introduce you to my co-host. Hey, Misty Girl. Hey, all right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Instagram, I guess.
Yeah.
Do we got to call him Misty Girl now?
Huh?
Do we got to call Hutch Misty Girl now?
No. And then we also had Mr. Jason Robinson. What's up, Jay?
Hey, top of the morning, everybody. Welcome to Thanksgiving week. Lots to go over.
We usually broadcast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week we're only broadcasting on Monday because people are getting ready to get into doing some traveling and stuff for Thanksgiving. So one of the main things that we really wanted to say is we hope that everybody has a safe and blessed holiday week. However you do it, whether you're doing it at home or whether you're doing it through travel, however you're doing it, we want you to be safe and secure. And we'll give our blessings and advice a little bit later in the show. We really talk about a whole lot of stuff here on the broadcast. We don't hold anything back. Well, actually, we do, but we really, for the most part, we really don't hold anything back. We try to tell you exactly like what's going on And we try our best to hold everybody accountable. I was just thinking, just a few minutes ago, as I was getting my coffee straight. Ron DeSantis, we're going to have him talk about Ron DeSantis in a little bit, but I just want to straighten something out because I saw a post from his War Room Twitter timeline, and he is slamming Trump here, and here. Okay, he's rewriting the narrative the way that he wants to rewrite the narrative, or his social media, DeSantis' social media is trying to rewrite Trump's narrative about what he did. Now, we all were here. If you're here right now, you were here when, adults. If you're here right now, you were here when President Trump was in office. You knew what he was trying to do. If you looked at him like a businessman, you saw he was trying to do at least 8 years of stuff in the first 3 years. And he had a whole lot of fires that he started and that he was trying to put out. You know that he was getting pushback from both sides. The three-sided monster, which is the Democrats, the Republicans, and the media. So, and the courts too. But you knew that he was getting pushed, and yeah. And his own cabinet.
Federal employees.
So you knew it was almost like Caesar. I'm not calling him Caesar. I'm not calling him a dictator. I'm not doing it. But it was almost like he was alone up there. Okay. So but I have to say this, and I'm going to say this without prejudice. You're not it. Ron, you're not it. And I'm not saying that because I dislike it. You're not it. You can't close the gap. You can't close the deal. And you have put yourself in the anti-Trump camp so far.
All of them have.
Supporters are not going to support you if you do win. They will sit home. Yeah, I mean, honestly, really, who can? I mean, the way things are right now, I'll turn to the state. I worry about the state more than I will the federal government. I will, seriously. But you're not it. And I mean, I don't know. I have another truth that I have to put out there too. This might hurt some feelings too. But the country is not going to ever vote for. Think about it. Unless they cheat. They're not going to ever vote for a far left person. They're trying to get it done, but then the country's DNA, even though they are trying to wean it out, they're not going to go super far left. If that was the case, they would have voted for Bernie Sanders. Now that was in 2016. Things have changed a little bit more, but Biden was the guy. Biden was the guy they put in there. Biden is not super far left. But they're not going to vote for somebody far left, and they're not going to vote for somebody far right. They're going to vote for somebody who can at least bring people together. Donald Trump was the last person to do that. Think about what I just said. They're going to vote for somebody that can coalesce or bring people together. Donald Trump was the last person that America voted for to do that. They didn't vote for Biden. Biden was just put in there. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Trump was the last person that America voted for. And he brought Democrats over and he brought independents over. Biden didn't do that. And DeSantis can't do that. The way of where he's going right now, he can't do that. And very quickly, I'm going to bring up a name, and I know that many people have been slamming her. But years ago, I was like, y'all better watch out for Nikki Haley. I said that because Trump hired her for the UN, and if they ever get up on stage, I heard something this weekend that my heart dropped. I hope he's not doing that next debate. I heard that the Secret Service are starting to get in place for that debate. And you know who's one of the moderators for that debate? Megyn Kelly. I hope he is not doing that debate.
He shouldn't. He's already the nominee.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. But
You know, you look at these people that are on that debate stage. Some big things happened over the last couple of days. Politics is about trends. It's not about one individual thing. It's about what people are doing all over. That's how people win the presidency. That's how the guy won in Argentina. You know, but if you look at the trends, you got three loser. Here's what's going to happen to DeSantis and Haley if they're not careful. They're very close to being on the same list as Cheney and Kinzinger, because the whole country can see that Donald Trump has more popularity than anybody they're going to bring to the table. Even if you put all of their scores together, he still wins. You've got the trend that's happening right now is Republican governors are starting to endorse President Trump. You got three loser governors on that panel, on that stage, and all the rest of the Republican governors are supporting Trump. I mean, Huckabee supported him, Abbott supported him, and there's a list of governors you never heard of that are supporting Donald Trump right now. So the best thing that could happen, if these people, I mean, Chris Christie, I would never vote for any of those people for anything just because of their performance so far. DeSantis is going after Trump for being too old. I mean, give me a break. Look at the guy. He still plays golf.
And a whole lot more than that. A whole lot more than that. I mean, I saw where DeSantis is using that promises kept. I'm like, dude, that's Trump too. Damn. I mean, Jesus. I mean,
don't worry
you took
about
the war
those
room.
candidates. They're not going to do that. They're done.
You took the war room.
I was going to say,
all of a sudden, promises kept. I'm like, Trump did that too. You can't. I mean, and even if you want to do that, promises kept. If you look at a whole lot of stuff of your promises that you're doing in Florida, a lot of that stuff is getting overturned. The Supreme Court just kicked that back out.
Chauvin.
It hurts, but they just kicked that back down to the 13th.
Yep. I was going to say two thoughts on the GOP and DeSantis. Thought one, Ron DeSantis. I like to use pro wrestling analogies. He's that wrestler that just doesn't got it. You know, he tries to steal somebody else's gimmicks. He tries to use their call lines. You know, he's pretty good in-ring performer, but you just watch him and you're like, congratulations, you're going to be on the bottom of the card losing to everybody. Like, that's Ron DeSantis. Whatever it is, he doesn't have it. And the establishment Republican Party continues to campaign like it's 2001, and they don't realize the Republican Party of 2001 is dead. MAGA has no interest in supporting them. And if you're going to run a candidate like Haley or Christie or DeSantis, we're either going to stay home or we're going to write in Trump. Like, you're done. I'm sorry, Republican Party on a national level. If you don't embrace an America First movement, you're done. Like, it was a good run.
She sounds like McCain. Nikki
Right.
Haley, every time she opens her mouth, she kills herself.
Right.
With me, anyway. I mean,
for MAGA, for some with MAGA, but I am seeing some people on the MAGA side saying if Trump doesn't get it, they would vote for Nikki Haley before they voted for Ron DeSantis.
Whatever.
Yeah, no,
if we get to that point, if this many people support Donald Trump, if those numbers are even close to real, then we got a country crisis if he doesn't get nominated.
I know.
Right?
I thought about that this weekend too. I was like, God damn! I mean, he's blowing Ron out of the water in Florida. Man, if they really take it away from him this time, I mean, and it's not above them to not to do it, but I mean, if they take it away from him this time,
I'm ready for a Cardi B endorsement at any time.
Did you see that Cardi B video from the weekend?
No,
I heard about the her getting on Biden. She didn't endorse Trump, but I'm waiting for that next.
Yeah, that's close. Yeah, that was I retweeted it today. It was a great 5-minute video where she's like, "This is crazy."
She did the same thing. She did the same thing that what's his name?
Michael
What's that
Rappaport.
boy's name? Rappaport. She did the same thing Rappaport did, and but you know that kind of hurt me too when I saw a whole lot of conservatives sharing that, and I was like, do y'all understand this? He's calling Trump all these names.
Right.
I mean, and y'all are sharing it like, I was like Darth Vader. your training is now complete. You have all gone to the dark side when you start sharing him slamming your guy, calling him names, and y'all are like, oh man, this is something new. What are y'all doing? He's not going to vote for Donald Trump. He doesn't have it in his DNA. He's not going to do it.
No.
He called, man. Jason, I was so pissed off at them calling Rappaport when I was listening to him calling Donald Trump names. I'm going to vote for Trump. Talking about his stuff in his drawers and his pants and stuff. And I was like,
well, I had the same reaction you did. Like, I don't know why people were retweeting him because there's a 0% chance he votes for President Trump.
Right.
See, I didn't even press play.
Oh, see, yeah, I did.
I shouldn't have, but I did because I wanted to see what everybody was going crazy for. And I was like, y'all can't be serious. Y'all can't be serious. Well, whatever, y'all. I mean, there we go. For we want to thank everybody who's watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and I want to give a shout out to Rumble. Talk to Chris. Well, I sent a message to Chris over the weekend because once again, I need to know some answers about Rumble. I'm trying to find out how we got to this point when we were early Rumble people. We left YouTube. We didn't get kicked off. We left YouTube because YouTube was hurting conservative, and we shut down our monetization. We didn't have it taken away. No, we had it taken away later when we left, which was kind of strange because we weren't broadcasting, and we weren't getting any monetization because they steal it. So the thieves, man. Google is thieves.
They're like the government, man. They ain't even like the mafia.
Man, they take all of all the taxes that the government take, YouTube take their tax too. That's like 35-40%.
Oh yeah.
They're worse than the church. So but Twitch, Rumble, Getter. I want to thank the Lord for Getter too. Getter's out there. And pilled.net. We're broadcasting on pilled.net. But Instagram, that's something new.
They figured us out by now, so now we got our good audience. And other ones like, oh man.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody wonders why we're on 25 platforms, that's because you wake up one day and, okay, I only got 22 platforms now. Okay, we're back up to 25. Okay, now we're down to 18. Let's just keep moving this around.
Jody says Nikki Haley wants to take away free speech.
That's true.
I have to say, well, guess what? Free speech has already been taken away. Yeah, I was watching the documentary last night on BlackBerry. That's a strong ass story. That's I cannot believe. And then Apple came in and did what they did, and not BlackBerry right off the map. But
I had a government issued BlackBerry.
Yeah. Oh, that's man.
BlackBerry was the shit back in the day.
Exactly.
And I had
that thing.
And I had a little thing that looked like a pager, but you could text on it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
It was like half as big as a BlackBerry. It's little.
When they got the text thing going, nobody was doing that.
Yep.
Nobody. And then they brought the trackpad, so that the trackpad, you start rolling and scrolling and stuff. Yeah. I was like, I remember all this, but I didn't know that it was going through all that turmoil in the back. And then Apple Jobs came and totally wiped them off the map. They hacked into Verizon's towers. BlackBerry
did they?
Yeah, because they were increasing in usage that their servers shut down. So they hacked the servers so that each phone acted like its own little personal server. And after they went in and told Verizon, because Verizon was going to let them go. It's like, no, you won't let us go because we just hacked your servers.
I remember when tech started and people started sending each other images, those files. And I'm going to tell you what, the phone company had to have made billions of dollars.
Yeah,
because I was newly divorced, and I was paying for my daughter's phone, and I got a bill for $5,000 one time. Swear to God, it might have been 3,000, but it made my eyes bug out.
Right.
When I saw it.
I remember the first cell phones I bought for the girls, and we're giving them the speech: be responsible, do this, be responsible. About a few months later, I saw my bill. My bill was like $3,000. I said, "What in the heck?"
I know, man.
This is responsible.
And it was one of those games that had those in purchases things.
Oh yeah.
But she didn't know that she was racking up the bills like that. And I called her down. I was like, "What are you doing? This is I don't know what
we ain't gonna eat this month."
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
you could have bought a real farm instead of Farmville.
I had to get in contact with Apple, and then look, I have to say their customer service back then worked with me because I got a whole lot of that stuff taken off. I got a whole lot of that stuff.
I go into the Verizon thing because mine was Verizon, and I go in there, and the guy's like, "Well, I'll just give you a unlimited data plan." I'm like, MFer, why didn't you tell me that before?
Right.
You had that available and didn't say nothing to me.
Yep.
That's how I know they made billions.
Yeah, they did. Off that data, boy. They sure did.
That 1 year, that one little window.
Yeah. So,
while you can, baby.
what were y'all seeing this weekend?
Oh, I mean, that Argentina win was no small thing. I mean, this
huge.
guy beat the pants off of the socialists. I hope that's a trend. And I think it is. I mean, I think that the problem with the left in our country, how you say that people aren't going to vote Republican or whatever. Well, man, they're doing everything wrong. The people that they're hurting are their base.
Right.
The cities are, oh my God, if we don't get a hold on these cities, it's going to be, it already is third world.
Yeah.
We already have people pushing other people onto the train tracks, man. It's the hate is just with this whole thing with Israel. I mean, you look at the polarization. I was just reading a story right before the show about how New York City has changed 180 degrees since October 7th.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Jewish people in New York and there's a lot of Muslims in New York, and they're looking at each other. And now the American left is taking the side of the Muslims and the Nazis. I mean, you got a guy from the Mavericks coming in with a Palestinian freaking scarf on.
Yep.
It's unbelievable the ignorance of these people. They can't be that evil. This is an ignorance problem. This is I don't know what I'm talking about problem. It has to be. And somebody's got to get out there and start telling the real story in a convincing way.
Could it be because, I mean, back in the day, and maybe I'm stupid for saying this, because I thought people were more logical and had more common sense in the past. You know what I'm saying? But we saw the influx of sensitivity on the left 12 years ago. We saw the sensitivity. They were worrying about your feelings. How did you feel? It's not about what the Constitution says. What do you feel about what the Constitution said? That's how they pushed it. That has seeped in the veins of America, in the state lines and stuff. That how do you feel about this? How does this make you? How does this, how does this work? Does it work for you? If it doesn't work for you, let us know.
Hate crimes. The whole idea of hate crimes. I mean, that's all thought. That's all emotion.
I was going to say,
we got mad when they brought up, even created the word hate crimes. We got mad with that because crime is crime. It's supposed to be. Crime is crime. But in their way of moving along racism, if something happened to black people, then it's racism. If something happened to white people, then it has to be racist crime. If something happens to Asians, especially with this administration, did you know when this administration took over, they started reporting Asian hate crimes have gone up. When this administration Chinese hate crimes have gone up. People are starting to beat up Chinese. And I was like, I haven't seen that.
I was going to say my takeaway from the weekend is be kind to your Democrat friends and family on Thanksgiving because they're going through some stuff right now. Because they're just going through some stuff. Like for the last 3 decades, they thought they were on the side of good. They thought they were fighting against President Trump, who was a fascist. It was going to crash the economy, lead us into World War III, and all this stuff. And now over the last 3 years, they're realizing their entire worldview is gone. They see these idiots out there protesting that are pro-Hamas. You got gay people and trannies out there protesting positively for the people that would throw them off buildings. You've got people are grocery shopping for Thanksgiving. Jen and I did that trip this weekend, $400.
Yeah.
Like, and people are like, they tell us the economy's good, and then I went grocery shopping, and like I say, so your Democrat friends, folks, be nice to them on Thanksgiving. They're really going through stuff. You know, Trump was going to get us into World War III. Now we are closer to World War III than we have been in our lifetimes, and they're just. And that was like the Michael Rapport and the Cardi B. What I was encouraged about with it is these folks are realizing, like Cardi B's rant was, I'm living in New York. They just cut back all the services, the school, the police, the fire, the cleanup. She's like, I got poop on the street and they're cutting back people cleaning up poop. And Democrats are realizing that their policies were terrible. They were on the wrong side of many of these decisions. And they're going through some things. So they're adapting to the new reality. So, Wayne's got a look on his face.
Jason, you know about NewsGuard, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually NewsGuard censors articles. I just got NewsGuard just sent me an email about target. 2 podcasts.
I'm sure I'm involved.
Both. Mr. Bailey stated on September 13th, I was at 35. They must have watched the goddamn podcast.
Oh, they do.
Read it.
I was a 35-year Army veteran. There was no way I believed the government blew up the Twin Towers until this year. Now I'm starting to look at this stuff and think, damn, these people are bad. Neither statement was challenged. Why?
Because it's how I feel. It's not a statement of fact. I just
right.
said it in there. It's how I feel. I'm starting to look at it.
It's an opinion. What? That doesn't even, oh my gosh.
Now listen, ladies and gentlemen. Now when you hear this, understand that NewsGuard works for the government.
And NewsGuard gets to fact check opinions. And on that podcast, we're very careful to state that, like, there's been no evidence, but a lot
I
of
don't know.
Stuff,
right.
Yeah, this stuff just doesn't add up.
In the 35 years, I was never stationed in D.C.
Right. Yeah,
or New York.
There's anomalies in the story that don't add up. And now you get
it's not the steal.
Sense, though.
It's not the steal. It's not the steel and the fuel. Because if you look on I-5 right now, you can see what fire does to steel. Mm-hmm. The interstate shut down because of the steel.
Yep.
And we've had bridges here that a car fire has made it unpassable. You know, it's just the way it is.
November 1st.
So what else did I say?
Commenting on the Pizzagate theory.
Oh, see, another DC thing. Jeez, how about that?
Stated that Pizzagate, you know that happened. You know how it happened. Look at what happened to Alex Jones. That's how you know it happened. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything in here.
Well, and let's for our friends at News, for our friends at NewsGuard, if I can make a comment on that, the lead debunker of the Pizzagate story just got sentenced for child trafficking.
That's right. And you look at how many other people in the orbit of DC are the same way.
Right.
And why did they pull law enforcement off of investigations of trafficking? And
this weekend it came out that they pulled somebody off they pulled investigators off a child trafficking thing to go after January 6 people, and then that guy committed awful acts. But with the Pizzagate thing too, just to be clear, if the pizza parlor might be wrong, maybe Cosmic Pizza wasn't part of it, but there were other activities going on. Like the story is directionally appears to be correct. If you layer on Epstein, you layer on the massage parlor that just got busted. Whether or not it was at the pizza parlor, like, I mean, that's up for debate. But like I say, the people that debunked it, the main guy that debunked it, he just got
in trouble. Listen, one of the reasons why I'm laughing is they've already destroyed my advertising since 2020. NewsGuard got in contact with Facebook, got in contact with Twitter, got in contact with many other advertisers for the website. So I took a huge hit. Well, I took a huge hit from 2020. They have suppressed the name WayneDupreeShow.com because of it. This is NewsGuard now. They even said that we were the most dangerous website in 2020. And that's above Breitbart and all the other ones.
And I wasn't here then.
Exactly. One of the reasons why I'm laughing right now is because the advertising that I'm using right now ain't got nothing to do with all those websites. I'm outside that realm. So, y'all can. I haven't responded to NewsGuard in about a couple of years because I know exactly what they do.
And it's a shame. It's a shame.
Now they have cut my traffic. They have cut traffic, but I've found other ways to how to work things out for that. But no, NewsGuard is one of the ones that is. I mean, and I've gone back and forth with them. They say that they put their responses on the website, but they don't, because I called them out in some of those responses, but they didn't want to put that on their website. But either way, we have said in the past we're not experts. We do give analysis. We also give facts. We also tell you. We're also opinions too, but we ask you almost every show to do your own research. That's one thing that we always say: do your own research. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to come back and say, "Wow, those guys are right." But if you say that we were wrong, send us an email, contact us on the show, and then we'll check it out, and then we'll come back and say, "Well, no, you still are wrong." No, I'm kidding. We'll say, "Okay." We'll take that, and we'll let you know. But I've been doing it. We've been doing this for more than 11 years, and
Can I share my favorite NewsGuard rating story?
Yeah.
So I was working on a website, getting NewsGuard certified, and we tried to keep it 100% factual, like no commentary, nothing. We labeled everything as opinion, though, because in my opinion, 1 or 2 sentences can throw a piece from fact to opinion. Just like when CNN starts an article with the 91 times and 4-time impeached president, like I think that makes it an opinion piece at that point.
Right.
And this website got nearly a perfect score, other than they labeled too many things as opinion. And so they asked them about it, and they said, well, all it takes is a few sentences, and you can turn a highly factual piece into opinion. So we just, want to be fair and say, like, this is opinion. We read the legislation or whatever. And that was what they got dinged for. That's how they did. They lost out on the 100% NewsGuard certification because they labeled too many things as opinion, which is remarkable. Because, like, you can't read a single article on a NewsGuard certified site on the left and it's not full of opinion.
No, they've been doing it for a while. They got a whole lot of the major websites. I'm talking about NewsGuard. They got a whole lot of the major websites, but at the beginning of the year, the government broke off from them,
Right.
At the beginning of the year. This year, the government broke off from them because a lot of people were finding out that they were behind the takedown of a whole lot of conservative websites. Now, what surprised me is that the reason why I look so shocked and everything is because they've always been on articles, not podcasts. If that's the case,
Right.
they might be on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But they pulled quotes from a podcast. Do they do that to anybody else? No.
I have no idea. That's spectacular.
A podcast that doesn't have any really advertise. Okay, guess what? You want to talk to My Pillow? Then go ahead if you want to. Go ahead. I mean, yeah, fine. Go ahead, and talk to them. But we don't make any money off of My Pillow. So, wow. Okay. All right. Bet. I still ain't gonna respond.
Of all the things that I've said over the last several years, for them to highlight those two says a lot more than they think it says.
Right.
And guess what? Their response was, why didn't you challenge him? That's his opinion. You're challenging me because I didn't challenge him. Does that make sense to you? This is not Russia. This is not the Ukraine. This is not, now, guess what? No, hold on now. Because we do challenge each other on certain things, though. We do ask questions on certain things. But guess what? Maybe I didn't challenge him because I believed it. I'll sit quiet and let it marinate in my head sometime. Now, sometimes I will be quiet because I am letting it go off in my head a little bit, and then I'll come back a little bit later. But earlier we were talking about such, but for the most part, if that's their opinion, that's their opinion. And I learned a long time ago, especially from church. And we were talking about this before too. If you grew up in church and you're taught a certain way, that's all you know. If you sign up for the military and you experience certain things in the military, your thoughts are going to change about certain things. Then you're going to be questioning about all the stuff that you used to know. I tweeted out before the show. It's a few years going on now, and I hope y'all get me for this. It's a few years going on now, but my thoughts have changed about government. My thoughts have changed about government officials. My thoughts have changed about the media. All of you are bottlenecks for success. You're gatekeepers of the prosperity that you experience because you don't want anybody else to get it.
And you're paid to not let anybody else get it.
Oh, you're paid handsomely. You're paid handsomely. Meaning you get mid to high six figures. You get dental, medical for a job that y'all do less than 2 months for a whole year.
How do you live so long?
And all of y'all live very long lives.
Is there like transfusions every month or
what's it called? Vampire blood?
Something. A whole lot of 90-year-olds. Even Rosalind Carter. You know what? She no disrespect, but she went out the way to go. She went into hospice on Friday and was dead on Monday.
That's perfect.
That's so beautiful. Yeah. That's how I want to go.
Yep.
That's a question. Is hospice the last?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it usually lasts longer than 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually be in hospice and get out of hospice. If like my father-in-law was in the memory care unit, and they just upgrade your level of service. So he get puts in the hospice program when you're within 6 months, at least at that facility. And then they said they can improve physically, so you take them off the hospice protocols, and then they can end up back in it when they decline. But for that spot, it was like, here's your 6 month window. He's probably not going to make it longer than that. That's when you put it in there.
You know what was amazing about that? They were married 77 years.
77
Wow.
years. They were the longest married couple.
I heard that and I was like, I can't even fathom that.
Yeah, I can't either.
But you know why I can't fathom it? Because I don't know anybody in their 90s.
Right.
I don't know anybody in their 80s except for Trump. Or
Rich
Biden.
people, famous people, and politicians.
Yeah.
Draw your own conclusions, folks.
Yeah.
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 Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to have more of the morbid show here on the Hutch Bailey Jr., Jason Robinson, Wayne Dupree here on Red Voice Media Network. We'll be
Attention
right back.
Americans, breaking news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. Take action now. The Federal Reserve phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard. Your hard-earned assets are in jeopardy. But there's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Reach out to American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Visit protectfrombiden.com. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Be smart. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Visit protectfrombiden.com to get your free guide and get started. Again, that's protectfrombiden.com.
When I invented MyPillow, my passion was to help each and every one of you. And 20 years later, all of your support is what keeps us going. Because of you, we've been able to create thousands of USA jobs and help millions get the best sleep ever. To thank you, my employees and I are bringing you a limited edition MyPillow. The Giza Elegance MyPillow is made with my patented adjustable fill, the most amazing cotton, and a 2-inch pipe gusset. It has 4 custom loft levels, machine washable and dryable, and you get my 60-day money-back guarantee and 10-year warranty.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your limited edition 20th anniversary MyPillow queen size. Retails for $69.98, now only $19.98. That's right, get a queen size MyPillow for only $19.98.
From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks America!
David Horowitz. You remember David Horowitz?
Yeah.
You like him?
I do. I did. I haven't seen him in a long time.
You know who David Horowitz,
Yeah.
JJ?
Most of his stuff's pretty good.
He just called out Candace Owens.
Oh,
Hey.
Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro. That's a fun fight.
I think David Horowitz is another Israel first guy.
Says she's obsessed with her own fame.
I agree with that.
Well, I knew that. I knew that a long time ago. But for him to say it, he ends it. Goodbye, Candace. We will continue to support those who truly strive to raise up the movement for life and liberty, not selfishly tear it apart.
I got to say, I've seen Candace's take on Israel-Hamas, and I don't disagree with it. You know, she's taking a isolationist approach, which I generally fall on for international policy. Like, they need to, like, Israel's got stuff and they need to take care of it, and that needs to not be our stuff.
I think I'll go with that to a point. Now, if you have the entire Muslim world coming down on Israel, then I might have to change my mind on that.
Right.
Because I'm Christian and those are the chosen people, and that's the end of it.
Yep.
For me, News Guard.
Yeah. For me, I've been on record with saying that I support Israel in defending themselves, and based on the guy from the Hamas person saying, no matter what, we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on doing it. Well, if that's your point, then welcome to annihilation, because you're sending the wrong message.
And you look at the area, and you got to ask yourself, why won't any of those other nations take the Jordanians, the Palestinians?
Yeah.
Because they're not stupid enough to do it. Only
Yep.
we are.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, I think, I mean, just to clarify my position, I think America needs to fix America first. We have so many things broken in
I believe
America
that too.
Oh, you
that
can't-
I
you
don't
can't-
want to get sucked into whatever's going on over there. We'll pray for them. We wish for the best. There might be a time where we need to get involved, but there is bad things going on all over the world, and we could get involved in any. I mean, there research boards in South Africa. You want crazy? Like, we should be involved there, but like, not our circus, not our monkey.
I don't
We have
think it's the
plenty of
same. I don't
Leave
think
that
it's the
alone.
same for me. I mean, it's to me that's a very special situation, and that does not mean that you can pull money out of an empty wallet.
right.
I mean, we don't have the money. We
We
can't
got
help.
money.
We can't help. The Democrats have ensured that.
Did you
that we
hear?
can't.
Did you hear what the Washington Post did a story about the Pentagon is still doing the oil stuff with Russia? It's like,
they
wait a
just-
minute, hold on.
And they just
I
failed
thought I
another
did.
audit.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
like, wait a minute. Y'all gave Israel money, but you also gave money to Hamas, the Hamas government. Okay. You're giving billions to Ukraine, and you told the world that you weren't going to do business with all these sanctions against Russia, but you're still doing
And so is everybody else. Everybody else in Europe is buying. That looks funny. Everybody else in Europe's buying Russian oil.
Oh, did Wayne freeze?
Yeah.
Nice. I was gonna say my favorite clip I've seen. It was from the weekend or this morning, but Morning Joe had a guy on, and they were talking about how the war in Ukraine stalled, and like the dude they had on, the quote was, "We can give whatever we want to Ukraine, and it won't bring success. It's time to just cut bait." And like, I retweeted the clip of it, but it was 5 minutes, and it's funny because we've been saying this for months and months and months, and they call us a Ukraine or a Putin lover or whatnot for stating the obvious fact. And they also released documents this weekend. I haven't seen if they've been confirmed or not for our friends at NewsGuard, but where it was confirmed that Russia in the initial stages said, if you just say we won't be in NATO, we'll stop NATO encroachment, we will we'll go back. We want part of Crimea so that we can get access to the seaport. But I mean, this Ukraine thing has fallen apart super fast.
Yeah, it is. And it's musical people. Yeah, it's falling. The thing that you got to watch too is this whole global thing with we're creating two economies, right? You've got the Western economy, which is the United States, the NATO, most of NATO and Australia and stuff like that. And then you got the rest of the world. And
Yep.
we're going down the wrong path. We're going down trying to turn our people, all of them, not just Americans, into serfs. They're trying to take everything that we own away and go toward a Green New Deal economy while the sane world is going with oil.
Yep.
It's not going to end well for us.
No, it's
Well,
not.
and we talk about it on the show. It is not right versus left. It is really foundationally rich versus poor, or the oligarchs versus that. It's just they have all of us, like normal people in your neighborhood. They have the Democrats and Republicans convinced that we are opponents of each other, when in fact your neighbor who might have voted Democrat, he probably agrees with 80% of what you do. You know what I mean?
And I've always said that. Well, not always, but for the most part, when I really sat down and I thought about it, I was like, yeah, all we need to do is talk. All we really need to do is talk, and we will find out that most of America, well, a lot of America, we fall along the same lines when it comes to wanting the best for America. There's the minority portion wants to change America. And I think we're probably one of the few nations that allows a minority to outweigh the majority. And to the detriment of our progress and our future. We have been so stagnant. We're running in quicksand, or we're in quicksand. This nation has been in quicksand. I was saying, well, I've said before that the country has gone stupid since what we once were. In watching Uber, because I watched the Uber documentary, the Uber story, and then I watched the BlackBerry story. I was like, we were smarter without this social internet stuff. We were smarter. Meaning, we used to think more. We used to process stuff a whole lot more. We weren't lazy with our thinking in that way. Social media, the internet has made many people lazy because, you got your headline readers, but many people go and find their favorite person to listen to, and they won't challenge the people, or they won't check them out, or they just go with what they know, wrong or right.
Two things. One that I can't stand is an article that is written by tweets. That drives me. I can't stand that.
I remember that. Yeah.
You talk about the laziest people in the world. It's the ones that do that.
Yeah.
They just take a tweet and embed it and put a title on it, and boom, we're done.
Twitchy used to be like that. They're still like
the
that.
other thing is, have either of you guys, has your penmanship suffered?
Yeah.
I can't write anymore. I can, but it looks like I'm drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, I started with really horrible penmanship, so you really can't tell for me. That's why I typed a lot as a child.
See, there was no typing when I was a child. There was typewriters,
Yeah.
typewriters, but not
Man,
not
we had
like
that
now.
Apple IIe, and as soon as they let me write papers and stuff on that thing, I'm like, I'm in.
I worked very hard on my penmanship. Worked very hard on it. I took a summer off and worked on it, because my dad was left-handed, but the way that he wrote his script, it was pretty. And he didn't need a ruler. He used to do his lines on a piece of paper, and he used to go right across the page. And I saw him doing it, and I started working on mine. And doctors used to be like, "Yeah, some real good handwriting there, boy." But right now, I can't even write my name the way that I really want to.
I get scared. I can't even write like when I'm writing a checkout.
Right.
The numbers, man. It's like, oh damn, I better print this.
Yeah.
See, Jen and I do the grocery list where we keep the list, like we run out of stuff. Oh, we need to get mayo or we need to get whatever. And then when she goes through to make our grocery list, she has to decipher the things I wrote down. like for the past couple years, she's been trying to figure out what llamas for the bathroom was, because I had wrote something on the list and it looked like llamas for the bathroom. And we have no idea what llamas for the bathroom were or why we needed them. It's a mystery unsolved years later.
He said he wanted some Gillette shaving cream, and she brought home some gefilte fish.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And she'll be sitting there, she'll be like, what's this? I mean, if I get to a grocery list without like 3 or 4 questions, like I'm killing it. I'm having a good week.
Like you said, many people are going to get their turkeys and stuff and everything. I wanted a 12-pounder. I wanted a 12-pounder. They couldn't find a 12-pounder. So the closest thing they could find was a 17-pounder. So I was like, well, I could do a 17-pounder, but or I could just say, no, I don't want that, and go do a Indiana Jones through 20 or 30 stores to go try find a 12-pounder. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go ahead and take a 17-pounder. Man, that thing is like 17.99. So now you might as well call it 18-pounder. I didn't want that big. I didn't want that big. But I'm going to do it anyway. Anyway. What are y'all doing with your turkey? I'm frying it. What are you doing?
I'm got the roasting pan, the electric roasting pan.
Mm-hmm.
Been using that for about 10 years.
No, those are spectacular.
With some stuff, I forget what it's called. It's like a glaze you put on the turkey to make it get brown.
Mm-hmm. Butter?
Yeah, See, we've got it
Butter
worked
honey?
out. What's that?
Honey butter.
No, it's a gravy mix. I forget what it's called. It comes in a little jar.
Okay.
See, we've got it figured out. We have the kids all over in the morning because everybody nowadays has like eight Thanksgivings they go to. And we make a stuffing egg bake. So you make an egg bake with stuffing and then put sausage and mushroom. So all the kids come over for breakfast and then they all go to the 12 different places they all need to run to. And then Jen and I enjoy Thanksgiving just with us. And a couple times we pick up strays. So we just do a turkey breast and then just cook it in either the roaster pan or in the oven, put some seasoning on it. And yeah, then it's a nice quiet Thanksgiving.
I learned over the years the most important thing, and I've done this where I didn't do this, and that's how I found out. You got to let that sucker rest for a half hour before you carve it.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, one time I didn't wait. Man, it was in a pool of juice and just it all came out, man. It was like, oh, I'm never doing that again. Not to mention I burnt myself a couple times trying to cut it.
Right.
Well, one time it had to be the prettiest bird that I baked. It had to be the prettiest one. It could have been a picture in a book. And I had my wife, my ex-wife's family over, and everybody's looking at that pretty bird. And I put it on the table, and I'm starting to carve it up and everything. Now I had the backside turned around to me, so everybody was looking at the front side with the legs pointed out toward them. So here I am cutting it, and lo and behold, I looked at the bottom. I was like, "What is that?"
You left a bag in there.
The gizzard, the neck, the.
Oh, we've all done that. We've all done that. I got a question. I got a question on that. How come you can bake that sucker for all them hours and that plastic don't melt?
I know, right? I know, right?
I don't know if I want to know the answer to that question. See, that's funny because we always end up getting those butter balls or whatever from the store. I always wanted to try like a real turkey from a natural farm. I always thought that would be epic. I have never been able to pull it off.
Yeah, you got to order them ahead and everything. We got them here, but I've never used them either.
Yeah.
Same way with hams.
Oh.
The Amish do those kind of turkeys, don't they?
Yep.
Oh, right. American farms do too.
American farm.
Yeah, the problem is you got to order them so far out that you don't know how big a bird you're going to get. And let's face it, nobody's thinking 8 months out, like, I got to order my Thanksgiving turkey. I mean, thank God there's people in the audience that probably do, but not me. We were buying our turkey this week. We bought it 2 days ago.
My turkey right now is in the refrigerator.
Yep.
So
mine's been a couple days.
Yeah.
Did you know that Thanksgiving turkeys, a surplus of them, is what started TV dinners?
Oh, really?
A guy bought all these excess turkeys after Thanksgiving, and he couldn't figure out what to do with them because nobody buys turkeys after Thanksgiving.
Right.
So they're driving around the country on a train, on a refrigerator train cars, a whole train of these turkeys. And then he figures out the TV dinner model. So that was, if you remember, the first TV dinners were turkey,
right?
Like Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, that's spectacular.
I saw a documentary. I love food documentaries.
I do too.
And that was it was a battle between TV dinners and Stofers. It was cool as hell. I love that stuff.
And
watching
TV dinners are great.
Watching those documentaries and stuff. I like watching. I like going on YouTube and looking at the food street.
Food street vendors.
Yeah, I like watching that,
especially them Korean ones.
Man, they fast, ain't they?
Yeah,
they are fast, and they got that stuff. I don't know what Costco they go to. I don't know what Costco they go to, but all their stuff is prepared. While we're asleep, these people are in the thing, cutting stuff up and putting stuff in stuff and sending it out. So I'm like, God, man, where they get all those chicken quarters from? Where'd he get all those legs and stuff from? I'm like, God.
I'll tell you what, when I was there, you go in a village and you'd see chickens for sale and they'd be hanging off of the awning. And they still had in Asia, at least in that part of Asia, in Korea, they still had to feed on.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people, I was listening to Michael Savage one time, and he said that the old school remedy of chicken soup doesn't work anymore because it used to be when they would boil the feet with it, making the broth that had a lot of medicinal content in there. Yeah. I mean, that's my opinion. Just my opinion.
Yeah. We 3 weeks from now, we get the fact check. Hutch Bailey was giving medical advice.
Why did you not challenge Hutch Bailey Jr. on chicken feet?
We don't think Hutch Bailey is qualified to give medical advice.
Neither do I.
Right. I got to say, usually we do the food chat near the end, but just watching all the chats going off with what people are making and how they're cooking their turkey, I'm ready for lunch, boys. This is
I'll tell you what I'm going to make for the second time.
What's that?
Go to the Conservative Treehouse, scroll down to his Thanksgiving recipes, and he's got a sweet potato casserole in there that's topped with pecans.
Really?
That is damn good. I'm making that again.
I think I might. Well, shoot, that thing is so big. I don't know. What's size turkey y'all? Well, you say you're doing chicken. Turkey breast, though, right?
I think mine's 18.
18 to 2. Okay.
I got a ton of people coming though.
Yeah, I mean, I got 5 of us, but
I say 1 to 1.5 pounds per person.
Yeah, when I cook them, we usually hit that like 17, 18 pound range.
Okay.
That's a good size. I mean, you get up to like the 22s, and it's like those things are bears to cook.
Is it gonna fit in the roaster? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta defrost it for a month. It doesn't fit. And I got that big countertop roaster thing, and it's like the lid doesn't close, so you're making a tent with the aluminum foil.
Then you gotta lift that hot ass thing out of there.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, your bag is hurting. Like
Everybody's looking at you.
Huh?
Everybody's looking at you.
Yeah, and you're always the sucker between you and dinner. So, like, they're all sitting there hungry. Like, what the hell's taking so long?
Yeah, gotta pull this off. Oh, last year, had my wife just upside down, didn't know what to do. My ex comes last year, and she makes
I remember. Yeah,
she makes this pork roast, right? A pernil, it's called. She's Puerto Rican. And she comes over, we're eating at 5. So turkey was out at 4:30 and it's cooled down. I'm starting to carve it. She shows up at the door with this pan. Hey, this has to go in the oven for 45 minutes. I'm like, well, just take it home because we're getting ready to eat.
Right.
We ain't waiting 45 minutes for that. And my turkey gets cold.
Oh man, look at all the chats.
Maybe I was gonna do a prime rib on the side, but I was gonna smoke it. Maybe I'll just do that for Christmas.
I think I'm gonna have a spiral cut ham for Christmas. I'm gonna splurge on one.
And there's nothing better than a spiral type. There was a ham place around here that used to do that though. Yeah,
honey ham, I think, or something like
honey
that.
Ham, yeah.
Honey bake.
Honey bake, yeah.
Man, that thing was.
See, my future son-in-law, he actually is a really good cook. And so we have transitioned Christmas to his house the last couple of years. So not only is there less work for us to do, but like he's a way better cook than anybody else in the family. So I tell you what, like the feeling of as a grown man going to the house to eat Thanksgiving dinner and like, you know, here's the money for the food, here's whatever, like, what do you need us to help? But to not have to do all that, oh yeah.
For a couple of years, we went on Pittsburgh has a pretty big riverboat fleet. And the Majestic is a 3-story riverboat with enclosures. The only opening is up on the top. So you can run in the wintertime. We used to go there for Thanksgiving dinner. It was like $25-$30 a person. And it was like buffet style. And you had to wait until your table got called and whatnot. Downside, no leftovers. Upside, no dishes.
Right.
Hey, there you go. Okay, listen, we're going to take our last break before Thanksgiving. Remember, we will not be here Tuesday and Wednesday, but we'll be back next Monday. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. We'll try to answer questions when we come back from break. But you're watching Wayne Dupree broadcast along with the godfather of conservative radio, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr. and Mr. J.R. Robinson from Muslim Soda. We'll be right back.
When I invented My Pillow, my passion was to help each and every one of you. And 20 years later, all of your support is what keeps us going. Because of you, we've been able to create thousands of USA jobs and help millions get the best sleep ever. To thank you, my employees and I are bringing you a limited edition My Pillow. The Giza Elegance My Pillow is made with my patented adjustable fill, the most amazing cotton, and a 2-inch pipe gusset. It has 4 custom loft levels, machine washable and dryable, and you get my 60-day money-back guarantee and 10-year warranty.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your limited edition 20th anniversary My Pillow queen size. Retails for $69.98, now only $19.98. That's right, get a queen size My Pillow for only $19.98.
From all of us here at My Pillow, thanks America!
We interrupt today's programming to bring unfortunate news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. So take action now. The Federal Reserve's phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard and put your hard-earned assets in jeopardy. But here's the good news. There's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Speak to someone at American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Dial 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Call 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. Act swiftly, 833-287-2465.
Welcome back. Wayne Dupree, Hutch Bailey Jr., Jason Robinson. I started off the show talking about Ron DeSantis. We really hadn't talked about him a little bit, but it mostly came from I was looking at the DeSantis war room. Stole that too, but and they had video of Donald Trump speaking, and they attacking him for the stuff that he was talking about. And I came to the conclusion, you're not it. You're not it. You can't close a deal. Usually America wants somebody that can close a deal. Now, guess what? Throw everything out. Throw everything out from the time that you have got in the race. You still can't close a deal. You can't get within 20 points of this man. That should tell you you haven't said anything to anybody. You haven't brought anybody on board from the other side. And you think that because because of that, you decide you're going to go far, far, far right on him and attack him. Call him names. There was a question that was asked of Nikki Haley, Vivek, and DeSantis. Nikki declined to respond. Vivek declined to respond. DeSantis was the only one that said something bad about Trump. But you expect people to vote for you.
The dumbest thing is the reason for that is because they think that Trump's going to give them a job, and he's not. I mean, I hope he's not.
I was going to say that was going to be my question for you guys. It's 56 days to the Iowa caucus, and I'm already over all this Republican nonsense. And we've got the next 45 days are going to be, Thanksgiving, then Christmas, and things are usually a little slow in December, and it's January 15th is Iowa caucus. And my brain is on, do all the current people with Tim Scott dropping out, does everybody else make it to Iowa? And then how many people will drop out after Iowa? Because Ron DeSantis, you and your campaign, we all know why a lot of that legislation didn't get done is because all the people that are paying your bills for your shitty campaign are the ones who leverage Congress to not pass the legislation. Donald Trump can't pass a border law. He needed Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell to do that. By the way, the people that fund Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell are funding your campaign. So if you think we're so stupid that you're going to suddenly get all these things done that they had every chance to do, we know our only chance is to send Trump in with a bunch of America First candidates, and that's how we'll get stuff done.
It's the only way.
We know that. That's the only way.
When you look and you see, and this is the good part. This is the part, ladies and gentlemen, that you should pay attention to. The way they're acting in the Republican Party on this debate stage. You need to watch that because that's who they really are. They're not the people they're telling you who they are. When you've got Dick Blumenthal and Chris Christie saying the exact same thing about Elon Musk and his fight with ADL, you know they're the same. Right. They are the same. There's no difference between Chris Christie and Dick Blumenthal. They're the same.
Pro swing trading on Twitter posted this, which is why I brought this back around. Ron DeSantis and his vile surrogates online wanted an ugly primary, and they got one. We hate Ron DeSantis now. Hate him. We'll never vote for him.
And that doesn't matter. Not in 2028, not in 2038. He's over.
That's what he said.
And so are the rest of those people over because all they're doing is trying to wreck us. They don't care about us. You can already see it. Nikki Haley is setting up Wall Street donors. Those are the same people running Biden, folks.
Yep.
That's just my opinion.
And I got to say, somewhere Ted Cruz is sitting there going, watch these guys destroy each other. 2028's looking like.
I'm still in the Senate.
Right.
Mine, Ted. He said, hate him. We'll never vote for him. Now in 28. Now or in 2028. And we'll do everything we can do to make sure this pudding-eating, lift-wearing creep's political career is dead forever.
It should
be. Now, Chris Loesch responded, the ugliness started from the Trump camp long before the DeSantis even got in the primary. It has been far worse from the Trump side, saying you hate anyone for what supposed supporters are saying is just terrible. Do you hear yourself? Good grief. But this one.
Yeah, Chris, I hate traitors. I always have.
Well, and here's the reality, though, Chris Nelson. Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign started before his reelection for Florida governor.
Exactly.
He lied to it, like it's all coming out now. Yeah. There's been plenty of exposés. Yeah. They gave him way too much campaign money. We were opining about, God, why did he get so much money? And that's because he was going to shift it all over.
He had $200 million as the governor of Florida. $200 million.
I mean, I remember us talking about that.
Yep.
Right. It's like, do you really think that's for the government? And a lot of it came from the fraudulent Republican Governors Association.
Right.
Yep. Sure did.
And they didn't give my guy nothing.
At the expense of taking losses in the 2020 midterms.
And the fact of the matter is, if Ron DeSantis was a man and wasn't some little scared little boy or some puppet, he would have come out when he was running for governor and he would have told us, I'm running for president. Because if you are so stupid to think he's building up this money, he's building out this campaign staff, he's doing all this work, and he wasn't going to run for president. If you believe that, you are an idiot.
You know what would be funny? You know what would be funny? Now his biggest donors are all moving to Trump. It's a matter of public record, right? Trump should say, no, I don't want that.
Right.
He should send it back to him. Don't even take it. Send it back to him because those are the guys you're going to have to change.
Right. Yeah, I saw Brandon Gill announced he's running for a House seat down in Texas. Brandon, he works with Dinesh. So very America First. He's
Oh, that's
a lot
his
of Trump
son-in-law.
stuff. Yeah, his son-in-law. Yep. Yeah, he married Danielle. They got a baby now. Really nice guy, but super America First. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh. And a lot of MAGA First people are starting to announce now. So
Did you see Bobo Brazil talking about Vivek?
no. Oh yeah,
It was
Donna
hilarious.
Brazil couldn't get his name right.
It was hilarious. He ought
Right.
he ought to just go home. You know, Vivek Ramaswamy or something. Ramaswamy.
She specifically pronounced his name wrong and made it sound like he should go home.
She got a new haircut. She's a blonde now.
Right.
Oh Lord. let me see if I can find that.
She aged well though. She was on Bill Maher. You'll find it that way.
Oh, well, I mean, she's not with Fox anymore.
Right next to Adam Kinzinger.
Mhm.
She's not with Fox anymore, right?
I don't know. I haven't
I don't
watched
think
Fox
she's
in
with Fox
years.
anymore. Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I don't know what they got on. I think Hannity's still there.
On Fox?
Yeah.
I think in the past 6 months, I've watched maybe an hour's worth of the 5 when we eat dinner, and that's all the Fox I've consumed other than a little bit of news clips. I have no idea.
That's an hour. That's an hour more than me.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to say, I kind of missed the 5. I like the dynamics of the Gutfeld and the Jesse Waters, and like it's fun to watch. But
Speaking of David Horowitz, I turned down an interview with a meet and greet with Gutfeld to do Horowitz.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
When we were in Orlando that time with 405.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, David Horowitz. But I thought something was wrong with him, but maybe I'm
Well, he
thinking about-
was a card carrying communist
Yeah.
until the Black Panthers murdered his girlfriend. She was the treasurer.
Turns out once you start killing people, they're like questioning, maybe we should be a part of this group.
Here's Donna.
And Vivek needs to just shut the hell up and go home. I'm tired of it.
We all hate Vivek. Okay. It's Vivek.
Well, whatever.
Not that I
Vivek.
whatever.
needs to
Would you say that about other ethnic?
Donna, I'm Donna. Vivek. Is it Vivek Ramaswamy? Ramaswamy?
Ramaswamy.
Thank you so much. I
know,
learn
but-
so much when I come on this show.
I know, but
Vivek.
Vivek.
Needs to go home.
Look, I agree.
He runs it.
I just feel like there's something wrong with everybody refusing to learn to say his name.
Vivek.
I just
Okay,
feel
I
there's a
will-
little racism there. There's just a little. Okay.
Vivek, I'll say it.
Okay, all right. I'm just
I'll say
saying.
it,
It's
I'll
just
say
like I know we don't like him, but just say his name right.
You're
It
the
seems
first one
like-
I've ever heard say that. I always
I
thought
could
it
be
was
wrong.
Vivek.
Maybe it's
I
not
mean,
Vivek.
yeah, maybe
no, no, it is Vivek because I heard him do a rap and he said it rhymes with cake.
Okay, all right.
And this is what the CNN audience needs to know.
I don't know what.
That's why he tried to correct it, because he was on CNN.
What? And it's fascinating too. Can you imagine if they were saying that about if a Republican was saying refusing to pronounce a Democrat's name right and telling them to go home? Like every headline in the media would be racist, racist.
I think one of the smoothest instances of that was George H.W. Bush when he used to call Hussein Saddam. I thought that was beautiful. Saddam.
Or Kennedy when he called Obama Osama. You remember that?
Yeah.
Obama. Come on up here and speak. But, yeah. We're my friends, we're moving into the election. Well, we're already in election season, but we're moving into. I don't think I can really give it justice, but we're moving into uncharted waters in the next year.
Yeah.
It's uncharted waters. We have never been in a situation like this before. We have a presidential candidate that is lapping the field of everybody, including the president of the United States. This presidential candidate is lapping the field before Christmas. And guess what? with all the negative headlines out there, there's nothing more that you can really throw at him to really hurt who he is, because
Not short of hurting him, right?
he has 4 indictments for criminal, whatever. There's nothing more you can do. You can call him racist, but that's going to just fly right off of him because he's in court.
And that puts us in dangerous territory, Wayne, if you think about it.
Exactly.
If you look at the track record of history, he's in a dangerous situation.
Oh yeah, he is, and that's why. That's why
Stay
I
out of
say,
Dallas.
Yeah,
Don't go by a book depository.
that's right. But again, there are some people out there that be like, yeah, he's 2 shots in the head on Thursday, but I just can't see them killing Donald Trump, because that you're talking about lighting a fuse to the whole country.
We couldn't see them charge him with 91 felonies. We couldn't see them trying to keep him off the ballot.
Well,
this is all unprecedented.
Right, but taking him out like that's, you don't expect people to go into the night for that, do you?
I'll tell you one thing. Donald Trump is much more popular than John Kennedy was.
Right.
Much more. There are
actually.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
What's interesting?
John F. Kennedy, a lot of his legacy is a myth.
Right.
A lot of people hated John F. Kennedy. A lot of them.
In the government.
And
in the South.
business world.
In the South, yeah, I agree. But
John F. Kennedy was a son of a gangster.
He was. And guess what? I agree with you totally. But when you have he was the youngest man to ever hold office.
True. That's true.
He had an awesome wife and family, kids, and
he was a war hero. He was a new generation.
And
you're right about all that. But once he started governing,
I was going to say, history's so skewed. People don't realize Nixon had the largest victory of a president ever. Everybody thinks he was horribly corrupt.
He beat Johnson.
Yeah, I can't remember which election it was, but he had the largest popular vote win, and he won it. Killed it in the Electoral College. But everybody just remembers him for Watergate because that's all.
Well, if you look at what happened between Kennedy and Washington, Kennedy and Johnson. No. Who did he?
Kennedy and Nixon.
Yeah, Kennedy and Nixon. Kennedy only won by 100,000 votes.
Right.
And the entire Chicago mob and the Louisiana mob and everybody, Kansas City, they were all stuffing ballots. They stole the election then too.
Right.
And Nixon was smart enough to say, okay, that's got Sam Giancana's fingerprints on it. I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, and back to Trump's popularity, Rich Barris did a nice piece this weekend that I was reading. We've had him on the show before, where he was talking about how the Trump base is as rock solid as any political candidate. He's like, I've never seen anything like this in all the years.
I agree.
Because we never knew how bad the Republican Party was.
Right.
And that's why I said DeSantis is not the guy.
No.
He will never be that guy.
The only one that's even close is not that guy, and that's Ramaswamy.
Right.
The other guys are all phony. Every single one of them, to a man.
It's funny too. Vivek did a nice job exposing Nikki Haley in a very concise way, I thought, because he on that, going up to that last debate where he just broke down you were in charge of the UN, you left with X million in debt, you immediately took a board, you left your UN post early so you could go move in the private sector to get bailed out by the military industrial complex. He summed that whole story up that's kind of complicated in like a 60-second, this is what happened. And I'm like, oh God, that was such a good explanation. And it just shows how corrupt Washington is. Now those people are trying to get her to be president so that they can get their kickbacks
and start their wars.
Right.
Which is all they want.
Cool.
She shocked me in running. I thought that she was going to be in. I knew in the future she was going to be either a presidential candidate or a vice presidential hanger on, but she shocked me with running. But again, she did call him and tell him. Nobody else did that. So I mean, I still think that it's a house of cards thing going. You remember I said I think it's a house of cards thing going on with this one. She's because she's been going after Ramesh. I don't want to say his name wrong because I got Donna's thing in my head.
Vivek rhymes with cake.
Okay. I call him by his first name. I won't call him by his last name. Vivek. She went after him. She's been going after him hard because he's been charging Donald Trump hard.
What do you see?
And I thought about that. I was like, that is a straight House of Cards thing where Frank had that girl go after the third opponent, and I was like, damn, that
you think that's bad. Wait till Manson falls off the cliff.
Yeah.
When he's camping and they find him in the bottom of the freaking Grand Canyon.
Yep.
And we aren't talking about Kennedy.
And with Nikki Haley, though, I mean, put the timeline together. I'm UN ambassador. I'm deeply in debt. I leave. I go work for the military-industrial complex, get my finances fixed, and, get rich. And all those people want somebody they own to be president or be in a position of power. So I think she's running to hopefully land in the cabinet or something. And then it'll just be, they'll want to start more wars so that the military-industrial complex gets her kickback. And then when she's done with her service, she'll just go back and serve on the board and get her payoff. I mean, it literally just charts out. It doesn't take a conspiracy theorist or a rocket scientist to say, oh, this is how this works.
Well, we are a few minutes away from rolling out for the awesome Thanksgiving week. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and sharing your awesome comments in the comment section. Before we leave, I just want to say in parting shots, don't forget to give God his due, because many people have turned to social media and a whole lot of figures on social media as if they were God-like type people. And I've been watching it, and it hurts because you don't see a whole lot of people responding or giving God his due, but they're begging him for everything. They're begging him for this and begging him for that. Always remember that if you look behind, see, you're begging for stuff for the future, but if you look behind you, think of all the stuff that God has given you. Okay, be grateful for all that stuff, because you are breathing another day. We're not promised that. Okay, so think about the blessings that God gave you, and then show him that you appreciate that, and just let things move the way that he wants, because he's going to do it in his own time anyway. But just remember during this time, just give him his due. Don't forget him. Don't graduate from the altar. Remember to pray for this country, and pray for your fellow man, and pray for your enemies, that they get weaker so you can beat them. But I mean, just pray that God fixes things in his time, because you don't want him to turn his back on you for, you don't do this and you don't do that and do that. Don't treat him like that. Okay. Jason, go.
Well, hey, first, happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. This is a time where, like Wayne was saying, where you reflect on what you're thankful for. And I'm thankful for, I got the best wife. Jen is amazing. Great family, great communities. But I'm really thankful to get to podcast with these two guys. We really feel like we're doing work to help save the country. I'm super thankful for Red Voice Media. They've been a tremendous partner, helping to broadcast this show and do that. And I'm especially thankful for the people that tune in every day and engage in the show. And without without you guys, you give us inspiration to continue doing this. So thank you for that. And kind of my parting note is, I mentioned it earlier, our Democrat friends are going through some stuff right now where they're waking up and they're realizing they've been lied to. And we've all gone through that, and that's not always pleasant. So share content like this with people you might not politically agree with, and say, hey guys, give these guys a chance, listen to what they say, fact check them, tell them where they're wrong. And, because they have this window of opportunity where they can wake up and help us save this country. With that, have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, I'd like to say that in 2020, the day before Thanksgiving in 2020, I went under the knife for some major surgery. And I woke up on Thanksgiving Day recovering from that, intubated with the ventilator and all that. And I want to thank the Lord Almighty for the last 3 years of life, because they removed cancer from my throat. I've been cancer free for 3 years on Wednesday. And I just want to thank God for that. And on that note, I'll say happy Thanksgiving, but I do have one final story that's very interesting to me and shows that there is still humanity in the world. The UEFA, which is a soccer organization in Europe, there was a match between Poland and Israel, and they reached out to the UEFA to see if they could observe a minute of silence before the game, and the Soccer Association refused. So somehow the two captains got together of the two soccer teams, and when they blew the whistle to start the match, everybody stood still for a minute. God bless all of you.
There we go. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, from the Wayne Dupree broadcast here on Red Voice Media Network. Don't forget to check them out, redvoicemedianews.com. Don't forget to also visit WayneDupree.com and download our app. It's free. You can listen to our old shows. You can listen to our new shows, and you can even send us a message too. It's free. Just type in Wayne Dupree Show on the Android app or the iPhone mobile store. All right. God bless. Happy Thanksgiving.